Hello, everyone. Malik and Abro welcome you to a new episode of Midweek Anthem. We are back with the round of 16, leg two. That happened in the middle of March. But we are sorry that because, for the delay, it was the holy month of Ramadan going on and then Eid, which caused this delay. But nevertheless, we are back again. Welcome on board, Mr. Abro.
Salam alaikum. Yes, we are back again, and yes, some delay, of course. So, yes, now I think we're looking forward towards that to conclude that
Yeah,
last 16 round and look forward towards that big last
yeah.
eight.
The quarters and the semi and final then. Right. So I think let's down to the matches. This was an absolute horror show for all the English Premier League sides this season. Um, but let's get down to the matches. How do you want to start, Mr. Abru?
I think we should start from the English sides because there were a lot.
Yeah, a lot, a lot.
Unexpected or expectedly because there was
Yeah,
some progress, of course. A lot of
yeah,
people, a lot of English pundits were very overwhelmed and
yeah.
energetic and praising the Premier League, its dominance and all. But I think the road ends here, and
It does.
and when it needed the most, you'll have
Yeah,
the. I mean, you'll have only Arsenal and Liverpool to look forward. So out
yeah,
of six, four have gone.
yeah.
And
Four,
along in
four.
that four teams,
Yeah,
I thought we would see at least we can see Chelsea or City
City. Yeah,
making it to
going
that
through.
last stage,
Exactly, exactly.
but
That
it
was
didn't happen.
expected.
So I think we should start from that City Madrid game over at Etihad.
Oh, oh. Again, this was a cracking fixture.
Oh yeah,
Real Madrid finishing 2-1 at Etihad Stadium,
it
and the
it
aggregate
was a
score. This
frantic,
was, this was
nervy game. And
very
if you
nervy
look
game.
at the entire game,
Yeah,
I was very much like, I mean, I was frustrated to see how Madrid start because they were like playing like, okay, we'll keep them away and then
yeah.
we'll score on a counter.
I mean,
The
their strategy
tactics
somehow
were there.
will
I mean, you
exactly,
sit back
exactly.
and
But
let
there
Vinny
was,
Junior and
yeah,
the rest do the talking.
yeah,
And this was City dominated the ball, 70% of the possession.
yeah.
They couldn't break Madrid, but then again the flurry of chances on the both sides. I,
Both
I
sides.
thought I thought the game ended 2-1, but this should have been if it had not been Donnarumma in goal, this could
This
have
would
been a
have
nice.
definitely been, yeah. And he did pulled off a
They
couple
will
of
be 10
saves.
men Madrid.
In fact, Thibaut Courtois also pulled up, a couple of saves. They were pretty good. But
Yeah,
I think we're pretty solid on this. Real Madrid, actually, I think this how they started. It looked at this. They have already assumed that this, the fixture is already in their bag, and they
yeah,
did not wanted to push it any further. However, I think you're absolutely right. This, how the game actually went on. City, as expected, they were pushing on in the first half quite a lot actually, and we saw a lot of midfield play in this fixture as well. A lot of the
yeah.
ball remained in the midfield, which is, something that is not happening in football that often nowadays. But I would still say, I mean, their selection for the start in 11 also interprets the same. They introduced Mbappe pretty late in the game. That
Yes.
also tells you the story that they wanted to sit back, and I think according to them, they already had this in the bag. They don't wanted to, exert themselves any further on this. But I think this was a hell of a cracker fixture. Everybody expected, including us, that Manchester City will be pulling off, uh, you know, with all the power and prowess they have in this fixture in
I
this leg
I think
at
I
home.
must give credit to City after going that 10 men down and that foolish red
Yeah,
card
that
which
was
Bernardo
stupid,
took. I
stupid
mean, that
tackle.
was
Yeah,
absolutely splendid. I mean, why
unnecessary
would
and
you take
stupid.
that? I mean, why would
Exactly.
you take that? The game has just started. It
Yeah,
was 11v11. You're dominating the possession. There was
yeah.
no need to panic.
And
There
there
was a
was no.
panic.
I mean, it does
There was a panic.
even even the if you see the instance how the game was going on by until that point, it was absolutely unnecessary. I mean, I do not see any point in this. Why did he do such a reckless tackle and
There was no
walked
need.
away,
There was absolutely
leaving
no need.
his team with one man down against a fixture that was pretty important, by the way. Uh,
I think overall, if you look at the game, maybe that Premier League title chasing effect
yeah,
as its toll
that
to the
caught
City
to them.
players,
Yeah,
because they were like, if you go back 5 to 4 weeks, I mean, we reminded back,
yeah,
they were confident Arsenal will choke.
yeah,
I mean, they knew they will choke. Now
yeah.
the points tells you the story, and Arsenal is, I mean, going through the paces, and they are scrambling the results, that they're
I
not
mean,
choking right now, and then now it's
yeah.
78 points, whatever it is. I think they had it that effect
No, I think they
that
had that mental toll was there.
because
Obviously, that mental toll was there.
they were like last 3 to 4 years, they were very confident side. They said Premier League is in our pockets these days, so
Yeah,
they were dominating Premier League, and they had a good number on Madrid. If you
yeah,
look at the last 2 to 3 ties over at
yeah.
Etihad, so they were pretty much confident. But this tie was totally different.
This was different.
Was
Yeah.
absolutely different because
Mm.
they felt pressure. Even Guardiola is not the same person he was last season or the
I
season
mean,
before. He
yeah,
doesn't
but
have that language, body language with him at the moment.
not at
And
all.
we
Not
discussed
at all.
this, that there
Not
is
at all.
something wrong within that management or in that City camp, because all
I
of
mean,
us or the news or the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
circulations,
yeah.
this is taking its toll. Maybe the player also taking the pressure now, because this was, I mean, with 10 men they
Mm,
dominated City. I mean, they could have
yeah.
snatched it. They could have taken this game in
No,
deep,
they could have
11 to
taken it
11.
deep. They could have pushed a bit further.
Because
S-
if you look
Try
at the
to.
game, Madrid defense
Yeah,
was, I mean, they was like very much under pressure.
they
There were
were.
instances
They
where
were
they
under
didn't
pressure.
know what hit them.
Exactly.
City was lurking outside their box. They were trying to penetrate. They were trying to put some balls and to give Haaland. But yes, but there were chances, and there were chances for Madrid.
I know.
I mean,
I did not
it could have
expect
been
it.
6-7, 5-6, whatever.
See, I think I expected from the second leg of this fixture that City will be showing their attacking prowess. But I also, somewhat believe that Real Madrid would be pulling it off on aggregate, but not by
Yeah,
this great of a margin. So this
yeah.
match ended and the aggregate score was 5-1. So City also only managed to pull one goal, that also at their home fixture in the second. Now, if we move
I think
on,
the overall, even the atmosphere, it was dead
yeah,
and dull over at Etihad. I mean, you
yeah,
never see
it was pretty dull.
atmosphere, and over in Anfield, if you go that, even though
Yeah,
they are 3-0 down, if you go back to United, you won't see that. Even the
yeah.
crowd will give you a push. They will be
No,
acting
I
like a
think
noise band. But
the
but
crowd here was
but for City
absolute.
fans, I mean, they were very
Yeah,
dull. They were dead.
no, they were dull. They were dull. I would agree to this point.
It was
Um,
no
you
atmosphere.
know, but this was just the trailer, and the real horror show was this in a second fixture. If you look at that, so this is West London, Chelsea taking on PSG. They were
Oh,
absolutely
great.
battered in the first leg, and the
Oh,
humiliation continued in the second one as well.
I never
And this
thought.
was even more. I did not
I
expected Chelsea
expected
not to
Chelsea
score even
to
one
come
goal
out
at home.
gung ho crazy because of the
Yeah,
Stamford Bridge, and the
but
crowd will be behind them. And
this
I
was an
was
absolute horror show.
expecting this game could go to the, I mean, into that deep. I mean, we
Yeah,
could see a 2-0 Chelsea margin, stretching that
yeah,
added time story and making that 3-0. This was all in the
exactly.
cards for me.
Yeah.
I was expecting this,
Um,
but
I was
no,
rather
it surprised
expecting
me.
I was rather expecting to see a 3-0 result, but on the other side, right? The
Yes,
Chelsea will be pushing it on too hard and try to, somewhat
you
nullify.
remember? Yeah, you remember there was a game in mid 2000
Yeah,
when United were battered at Bernabeu 3-1,
yeah,
and there was a return leg. I mean, that
yeah,
was the complete Galacticos.
yeah,
And in United, you have Beckham and the Roy Keane and the Van Nistelrooy. I
yeah,
mean, that was the game. But in that game, even though United were knocked out, but the
yeah,
game was immense.
yeah,
United was knocked out just for the one goal difference. Just on the one
yeah,
goal difference, they won 4-3 on that night.
Yeah.
That result could have been 5-3. The game could have
Yeah.
been stretched to the
Yeah.
extra time. So I was expecting this kind of a
I
game
was
at
also
Stamford Bridge.
expecting, I would not deny this, I would also expecting the
But
same,
they've thrown the
that
towel
Chelsea
in the
would be giving
get go.
everything in this second leg at home, particularly. But this was an absolute horror show. I mean, they managed 2 goals while playing at PSG, but they could not score a single goal at playing at home. And I think this was miserable. This was dismal. I mean, not much to say about it. Their defense, particularly, was pathetic. I think I have not seen any big team with such a shambolic defense in Champions League, and that too in the later stages. But that said, I mean, the aggregate score, this was a huge one. I think we have not seen this big of an aggregate score in a very long time.
Yeah,
Particularly when
huge.
when you know
That
when two
aggregate
of
score was
uh,
telling.
so both teams were,
That aggregate score
the
was telling.
absolutely giant of teams, in terms of clubs. But this was an absolute landslide. 8-2. The match finished on aggregate 8-2. And,
Wow.
Chelsea could not find, a back of the net single time in this home fixture.
I mean, yeah, it
Uh,
was embarrassing.
some
Absolutely.
solace for, Premier League fans, in general, that is. Well, we look at the next fixture where Arsenal took on Bayer Leverkusen at their home stadium at
Oh yeah,
Emirates.
poor
And this
Leverkusen.
was a pretty
I
dull
mean,
match. I mean, I would say this. I would give this.
uh, I mean, the
Uh,
Leverkusen we all knew when Javi Alonso was there.
yeah,
After him,
yeah,
okay, they are. I mean, they did well in some patches, but in this competition, they are as poor as things can get. And
exactly.
Arsenal, I mean, I'm not disrespecting anything, but you have to beat whatever in front of you these days.
Yeah.
But Arsenal were lucky to get by Leverkusen.
No, they were
I
lucky to
mean,
get away with this
this was a
fixture.
stroll in the park in the second leg. They were absolutely comfortable.
Yeah,
No threat at all. I mean,
so
it was
Leverkusen was
comfy night.
absolutely,
Yeah.
very docile in this fixture. Not the
Same goes
Leverkusen
with,
that we saw in the
yeah,
first leg,
yeah.
by any means.
Same thing can be said about Galatasaray and Liverpool. I mean,
Oh yeah, we'll
I
get
don't
to
know.
that. But before that, I think the fixture that was the highlight of the second leg of this round of 16, and that was Sporting taking on Bodo Glimt. And this was, I
Bodo.
mean, I mean,
I mean, I think
I did not expected
this is the best
Sporting to
game
pull this
of
off.
this campaign.
Exactly
I
this
mean, or
one.
the fixture or the leg, complete leg.
Exactly.
I mean, this is some done
I
up.
mean, and I
Some
also I would say that this is an absolutely played out example that every other club, I mean Chelsea particularly and City, should be looking into it.
3-0 down
And
and
yeah, they were 3-0 down in the first leg, and this is what the power of playing at
how they
home
turn it
field
around.
is.
Wow.
So when your
And
crowd
we
is
all and
at
we
your
both
back,
talk about Bodo Glimt surprise. I mean, because
exactly.
we were seeing Bodo Glimt as a surprise package in this
They were a
tournament,
surprise package,
and
and
they
I think
did
it
some
is.
shocks. They did
And I
perform some
think this
shocks.
this was absolutely a hell of an achievement for Bodo Glimt to actually reach till the round of 16 even.
I mean, their actual remontada, Manisab.
Huh, no, exactly.
Remontada.
And this was an absolute beast of a fixture. Such a great football that went down in this.
Lovely football.
Sporting was just
Absolutely.
they were uncatchable. You could not have stopped them
The moment
had it
that
not
first goal
been
went in that game,
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you can tell by the looks of Bodo Glimt that
yeah.
they are basically seeing the ghost now.
There
Because,
was
I mean,
yes.
they were never in control after that.
No, they
I
were.
mean,
I mean,
absolutely
they were
shambolic. They were scared
absolutely
to death the
exactly.
way Sporting played.
They were not even
Unbelievable.
chasing the ball. They were just there to block it,
I
the
mean,
maximum they
absolutely.
could.
I mean, they were
And
clueless.
they
There
were,
was
I
no
mean,
game plan.
had this not been stopped by the clock, this would
Yeah.
have definitely
This could
went
have been
on
at
to
least
7, 8
7.
goals.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. A cracker of a fixture. All praise to Sporting for pulling this great stint off in the second leg. While you're 3-0 down in the first, I mean, this has a very grieve mental toll on you already. But this was an absolute brilliant display. We move on to the other fixture. This was Spurs taking on Athletico Madrid
I
at
mean,
the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They did pull
So,
this one off. Yeah, they did
no,
pull this one off.
I think odd was against them, and the way Spurs are playing in the
Yeah.
Premier League. I mean that was. But again, I have to give them credit in the return leg, the way they responded. They fought,
Well, I mean,
but I think the tie was
this
eventually
actually,
over in the first leg.
I mean, Mr. Abro, I think this is something where this actually, this pushes me to ask this question: that if Spurs can still do with all that is happening around with them in Premier League, if they are still capable enough of putting this display in Champions League, what is stopping them from doing so in Premier League?
I don't
I
know.
fail to understand this.
I don't know. Maybe, I just don't know. I think the players needs to be they need to look themselves in the mirror right now because I mean you change manager after manager. This has to
But
do with
that's not
players'
helping. I
mentality.
mean,
The
we were
mentality
both
of the players.
never fan of Thomas Frank in the first place.
Changing managers, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but
Now they
changing
have
manager like this in the middle of the season, Chelsea did this, United did this. It went down, and it
they
worked
already
out for
sacked
United.
Bodo now.
Yeah,
What
but
three,
I mean,
four days?
this is absolutely horrendous for whatever is happening around with Spurs
I
and the
hope they
board and the
survive. I
players.
really hope they survive.
I really hope they survive in the Premier League
Yeah,
exactly, because this has been a lifetime for us to follow, at least see
absolutely.
them
And
playing in the Premier League. So
they
this would
have
be
they've made us some
definitely
wonderful
the,
moments. Yeah,
oh, I mean, if they're not there, I mean, I would definitely miss them. I can say this
absolutely.
out,
Yeah.
very very openly. So the next fixture, I think, this is a shamming, a mockery of the game, I believe, that pulled this great stint off for Liverpool. This is
Oh,
Liverpool taking on Galatasaray at their home field at Anfield. And I mean, this was, I mean, I really don't have much words to
I
say
never.
about this
I
fixture.
mean, it's been what in Champions League for me. It's been I think such a long time when I never witnessed such poor refereeing in the first half, and that carried
Yes,
on. I mean, the
absolutely.
amount of
I mean,
fouls, the amount of advantage that I mean, they gave Liverpool, I mean, at home,
and
and Galatasaray were also, I mean, they were also were poor on that given night. They contributed
they
to
were
their
poor.
own downfall, but the refereeing should be talked about.
No,
This is poor.
I think the blow Victor Osimhen, caught in the very early
I
stages
mean,
of the
hats
match.
off to
I
him. He
think
carried on playing with this pain.
no, he carried on playing. I
I mean,
mean,
his
you can understand why this was happening because this was Galatasaray. This was not Manchester City or Real Madrid
yeah,
that they have so depth of a great
yeah, they
depth of
didn't have
players
that.
that they can pull
Yes,
off. I mean, Victor
although
Osimhen,
Icardi was there on the bench.
hats off to him for continue playing wherever he could. But I mean, I think Galatasaray were done and dusted the moment he picked up that injury because all
Absolutely.
their attacking prowess actually is not there if Victor Osimhen is not clicking. So I
Yes.
think
He
this was
doesn't.
it. But
He was not making proper efforts. Of course, the pain was there,
he was not.
and he
And I
was not
think
jumping. The aerial threat was
first
gone.
the first
The
20 odd
control was
minutes in the
gone.
game,
Yeah.
Mr. Abro, I think that actually decided the game. It ruined the game, in favor of Liverpool. And we
Yeah.
saw the result for what happened after that.
I mean,
This match
just
also,
more
I
for
think.
fun.
Oh, this was. I mean, everybody was scoring. I mean, anybody could have dropped in from from the audience, and they could have also scored
They
in
could
this
have scored.
fixture too.
Yes.
Because this was just there was absolutely nobody stopping them from scoring at Galatasaray's end.
I mean, I was
And
asking the same thing with the Liverpool fan 4 days ago. That where was this Liverpool in the first
yeah,
leg, and
where was this?
why you were like? I mean, your crowd was also dull. The atmosphere was not that
No,
where we saw an epic Liverpool atmosphere in I mean in the Premier League
no,
used to see. So I mean, what happened in this season? So there is a lot of hit and miss with Liverpool
exactly.
this season,
Yeah,
and this is on the cards. I mean, Galatasaray should have been more clinical, or at
uh,
least they should have been more disciplined with their defense and the midfield. The more, the longer the game could have gone to nil-nil or
yeah,
1-0 to Galatasaray, or
yeah,
even 1-1 at the
yeah,
most. The
yeah,
Galatasaray team should have believed that I mean, they got a chance to nick it or score another. Because Liverpool at home, we all seen
yeah.
it, has been poor,
I mean, they
absolute
were
poor.
very vulnerable. I would say, Mr. Mr. Abro, again that the first 20 minutes. when the match actually started, and until some 20, 21 odd minutes,
Yeah,
Liverpool was throwing in everything, and
everything.
Galatasaray
Yeah,
was also, coming up with rebuttals. However, the poor referee actually broke the spine of Galatasaray in the first 20, 21 minutes, and I think this is what resulted in this, in this 4-0 victory that Liverpool pulled. However, this score, the second leg, this fixture, it ended up with 4-1 on aggregate. The remainder of two fixtures is, I think, exactly went on as we expected. The first is Bayern Munich at home taking on Atalanta. They were as poor as they were in the first leg, and Bayern Munich, they were just, running over some dead corpses. It felt. Um, and the second game also, turned out with the same fate. Barcelona at Camp Nou taking on
I
Newcastle
thought
United,
Newcastle
and
started well.
they
I mean,
did. But I mean
they had a good start
that
over
that
in Nou Camp, and I mean, they gave them. I mean, it was 2-2 in early stages, and I was like, "What is happening at Nou
and then
Camp?"
they lost
But
everything.
then
I
all
mean,
of a sudden, I mean,
couldn't understand it.
I mean, Yamil Lamal came to life
Yeah,
and stuff. I
and
mean, I mean, he changed the game. Like,
he
he
changed the
changed the
game,
game. The
and
fluidity was
Newcastle somehow somehow it felt that somebody pulled the plug on
yeah,
Newcastle.
absolutely,
So and
absolutely. I
so
mean,
they were playing good. They started off
thank
good.
God for the final whistle. Otherwise, this could have been gone a cricketing
Oh,
score.
this
I
could
mean,
have
it could have been
definitely gone to double figures. This
yeah,
had the
absolutely, absolutely.
potential to go up to 10 goals. Yeah, they were
Barca
absolutely
boys were relentless.
they
They were
were relentless, and they were.
absolutely
I
going
mean,
crazy. Yeah,
they were like apex predators. They were not
absolutely.
leaving
Yes.
anything at all.
Yeah.
So this pretty much rounds up the round of 16.
16. So,
Some horrific, horrific results for Premier
powerful.
League sides. Uh, but now let's
So
take a
we
look
are
at
into the
how
last eight.
the quarterfinals. Yes, the last
Yeah.
eight.
Oh,
The fixtures, Mr. Abro, this would be starting off from 7th of April, right?
coming up,
Yeah, coming up.
all Spanish clash. Barca versus Atletico. Arsenal will be,
Yeah,
I
Real
mean,
Madrid.
delusional if they think they are in the semis because Sporting will give them the
I mean,
running
Sporting is
of their.
taking
I
on
mean,
Arsenal. The biggest fixture perhaps is Real
Madrid,
Madrid,
Bayern Munich,
Bayern Munich,
Liverpool,
Barcelona with
Paris. Wow,
Atletico. This is an all
Paris.
Spanish affair.
Yeah.
Barcelona with and PSG taking on Liverpool, and this is
With
an
this form, PSG,
absolutely
I mean, Liverpool will be so
though this is an utter bad news for Liverpool that they have been drawn
absolutely
against
the
PSG.
form,
I
the
think
way PSG are playing.
they could have only hoped that they were drawn against Atletico or
Sporting, yeah.
Sporting, yeah. But I think this is an absolutely very very
I think I may be wrong, but Melissa, looking at those fixture, I
yeah,
think whoever wins with, I mean, from Madrid or Bayern, would
yeah.
definitely going into the final. And for me, on the other hand, I think this is written
I mean,
like a PSG Barca and Bayern. I mean, Bayern Paris or somewhat into that mode.
I
I
would
mean,
love to.
top
I would
three,
love
top
to
two.
see. I think I can how the stats have stacked up so far in the Champions League run. So I think this is easier to say that PSG will eat up Liverpool how they're playing right now.
I don't see any
And
side making it to the four.
I
I
and
just don't.
yeah, and similarly, I think Barcelona would also be taking on Atletico, and they will be
Uh,
going through. I would want to see what happens with Sporting and Arsenal because you believe that Sporting has the potential to challenge
I mean, they have
Arsenal,
the
right?
way they have turned the game. I mean, that shows how
Yes,
good
that
they are.
shows. And I
They
think
can beat anybody at home.
in the Real Madrid and
Just
Bayern Munich fixture,
they want to be
uh,
disciplined going away.
they I think in the first leg they would be playing at home, so that is a
Yes,
good thing
that's
for
an
them.
advantage for them. Yeah,
And they should try to score
win that
as
game.
many as they can, and put up a lead. Actually, put up a lead
Yeah, take
on
that lead
Arsenal.
to Emirates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and take that because if they're not going with a lead at Arsenal, that would be a different story
I
for
mean,
them.
I still think 1-0 won't be enough. They should look at what 2-0, at least
I
win on
think
2-0.
the similar structure would also should be followed by Real Madrid against Bayern, because if they would be playing at
I
home,
just, I mean, the way they defended against City, the 10-man City. I don't
I mean,
know.
the
I
Real
mean, but
Madrid
Bayern
is
is all over. I'm looking
no,
at Bayern
I
playing
mean
all over.
Bayern
I
Munich is
mean,
absolutely well
they're playing
knitted,
like a beast right now.
very organized,
I don't
very
know. I
organized
don't see
team.
Madrid going through.
No, I don't see Madrid going through if they are not, composite,
I think
cohesive
it could be
as a unit.
PSG, Bayern, Barca, and Sporting.
This is
The
what
last one.
I think I would be pitting against the same.
No disrespect
That
to other fans, but
yeah.
this is what we think.
Well, how things have been lately, I think this is what anybody
Yeah,
would be, speculating that the four, going through from the quarterfinals into the semis would be PSG, Barca, perhaps Sporting and Bayern. So these would be the top four picks,
this is
for
what
the
we think. Yeah.
semifinals. Yeah. So I think
Nonetheless,
this
I
is
mean, some spicy fixtures ahead,
oh,
and
I mean, some great fixtures. This is going to be, by
cracking.
the way, this is going to be back to back in 2 weeks, the
Yeah.
quarterfinals, and then there would be a break. But this would be done and dusted by mid of April. So the first week of April and second week of April, so Champions League quarterfinals will be over by then. Right. So I think this is all the fixtures that we have covered, and what is to come in the quarterfinals. But before we wrap up, Mr. Abru, we have a very special message from one of our patrons and a very dear brother, a very hardcore fan of Manchester City. And what he has to
Yeah.
say, I think let's hear the message.
Assalamu alaikum, Muzaffar and Ramiz. Hope you guys are doing great. Champions League recap. We lost again to Real Madrid. Have been facing them in the past few years, and the Real Madrid has an edge over us. So the first leg 3-0. It was tough for us to come back, and then Bernardo Silva red card in the second leg. So that was the end of our fixture. This year we have been struggling on the overall form, so not a surprise for me as a fan, but we could have given a more good fight. But the 3-0 at Bernabeu was very much tough to take as a fan. So let's hope. And coming back to the rest of the fixtures, I think Arsenal has a lenient fixture. You can say Sporting. Sporting is a good team, but still. And if you see the other games, these are tough. So let's see Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid, and then PSG, Liverpool as well. So I think PSG or Bayern Munich. I think these two teams are good, and these one of these will win. Barcelona is in good form, but at times they can be vulnerable. So let's see. So good games coming up in the Champions League, and I'm looking forward to watch some good matches as a neutral. So good luck and see you guys again soon, inshallah. Take good care. Thank you.
Right. So I think this is all we had from this midweek anthem episode. And we will see you when Champions League return for the quarterfinals in the first week of April.
April.
Until then,
I think 7 or 8. Yeah,
yeah, seventh and eighth.
absolutely. Time to
Exactly.
time to wrap it up, and of course, focus on the Premier League now. Stick
Nah,
to
yeah,
that, and then after
yeah.
that, we'll come back to the last 8, and we hope to
Last
have
eight.
some cracking fixture.
Fixtures again,
I
yes.
mean, we don't want to see a landslide victories. I mean, that's
No, but good
what we want.
football is what we want.
I mean,
Good
good,
football.
attractive,
Yeah.
proper football without any
I mean,
nonsensical refereeing
a
decisions.
1-0, a 1-0 or
Yeah, fair
2-1 score
results.
line is also
I
good
mean,
enough, but the
teams
football should
fighting
be
for the
good.
badge. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
The
we
football
hope to
should
see
be good.
that,
It should
and
be competitive. It should not
yeah,
be a one-sided affair. No matter what the sport is, but it should never be a one-sided affair, because that is, I mean, you can't call it a sport
I
then,
mean,
right?
yeah, it just take the charm away. I mean, somehow.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
the sides are in the size of the sides. I mean, those are playing in that last 8. I mean, I don't
exactly.
want to see those. I
Yeah,
mean, embarrassment, humiliation. So
embarrassment,
we hope
exactly.
for the best, and all the rest of the sides in last 8.
Oh, yes,
And till
absolutely.
then, we meet again. You take care. Take good care of yourself. Of course, keep tuning
Exactly.
in. Keep watching our videos. Do subscribe and leave your comments. Until then,
Exactly.
I hope peace prevails in the longer run,
We hope
and
peace
we'll
prevails in the
catch
world.
you
Yes.
later in the next episode. So,
Yeah. Take
adios,
care.
bye bye.
Adios. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.